Hello everyone, let's wait for some minutes until everyone joins us. Okay, I think we can start. Hello everyone, thanks for joining today. Let's start today's session. First of all, thank you for all your test answers. Answers on the test we had on Wednesday. Everyone sent it to me, so it's very nice. It means that everyone is still on board. So it's really good. Okay, let's see. I will share the answers with you most likely on Monday because I haven't prepared a file for the answers. so far, but I will definitely share it with you. That's about the test, so yeah, thank you very much. Today we are going to, since we skipped the question answer session on Wednesday, I think we can do it. We can do it today, and after the questions, I already prepared the task for the final project. Yes, there will be the final project in groups, and so yeah, I will explain what you need to do, what will be the concept of the task, what will be the idea of the task, and yeah, we'll discuss this task a little bit later. But yeah, just for you until Monday, I would like you to put in joining, split you into the teams. So I think it would be nice if we have 6 teams of 3. One is joining. So yes. I would like you to ask to split into the teams. Yeah, into the teams of 3. Yeah, it means just select your teammates or just do it yourself and send me the uh, the list of the teams. Yeah. Um, yeah. So please, something is good. Yeah. So until Monday, please choose your team. I mean, split into the teams and yeah, send. I mean, you can do it separately. I mean, everyone can send. I mean, you can send me your teammates, and after that, I will create the list of the teams. That's first, and yes, after that we'll discuss a little bit more about the organization of the project. We'll discuss it next week, but today, after, or maybe even, okay, let's maybe do it at the moment, so right now, so to not split this discussion. Yeah, so the idea of the task will be that you first of all you need to create the database. It will be I will explain you a little bit later what kind of database it should be. I mean that won't be complicated, just one or two, maybe, yeah, most like one simple table, yeah, with some fields, just nothing special about the database. Yeah, that's you need to create, and the task will be for you to create the code in Java. Yes, using Java, you will need to build the code. Yeah, create the code with many different classes. Yeah, just as usually, and you will have the um, 3 types of files. The first one is XML, then you can have JSON, and the last one is, and we haven't covered it, but the idea is even more simple. That's a CSV file. So the CSV file is just a simple file with the lines. Like if you have um, 10 lines, yeah, for example, you have 10 lines in Excel file, in CSV file, then you have 10 lines in 10 rows in Excel file, you have 10 lines in CSV file. Yeah. And each column is separated by separator defined. So, and the idea is that yeah, you have the program. So and the result, you should be able to run this program and then enter the file. Yeah, actually one of three types of files. You have again CSV file, XML file, or JSON file. Then based on this file, so the program should distinguish which file type is it. You can distinguish it by using extension of the file, so that should not be complicated. And the idea is that based on this extension, you should the corresponding logic needs to be executed, and the data from the file must be inserted into the database. That's the main part, and yeah, the second part will be to actually fetch some data from the database and write it into the file. So in opposite way. Yeah. That will be the idea. Yeah, maybe about these steps. Yeah, I'll send the explanation, actually everything what I just said, you most likely tomorrow or on Monday. And yeah, after that you can ask me some 3 months. And yes, actually you have 1 month for this task. But yeah, the idea there shouldn't, in theory, so again, the work will be split in teams. So you have three participants in each team, and yeah, maybe the most efficient way of working would be if just one of you do the CSV stuff, another does the XML stuff, and the last one do will do the JSON stuff. But let's see. That's I think for the first part, if you just simply um, pass the data into the database, that should be fine for you to complete it in one month. About the second part, let's see how it goes for you. So I mean, to be honest, at the moment I'm not sure how, from the time perspective, yeah, what time frame will you be able to finish the first part. If it goes slow, then maybe we'll skip the second part, but let's see. Yeah, we'll definitely have discussions every session about the project, so we will see how it goes, and if it is needed, yeah, some adjustments may be done. Yeah. So But yeah, I will send you the again the main idea what I just said tomorrow or Monday, and in more precise way I mean what kind of database should it be. I mean for each teams. So once you create the teams, I will for each team there will be the different type of database table. I mean different idea of the database table. It won't be complicated. Just again as I said some fields there. Uh, yeah, and yeah, basically, yeah, it's about the finish of this course. According to my plan, we should finish. I mean, somewhere in a month. Yeah, at the beginning of November. Initially it was kind of 5th or somewhere about the 5th of November. So it's 1 month since, almost 1 month since now. It's maybe a little bit less. Yeah, but yeah, just the finish of this course is somewhere in 1 month. Yeah. But yeah, for now we have a few topics left. So and yeah, we'll finish the input output. You'll need inputs. Yeah, they will definitely will need input streams to be used in your project, just actually to input the file name. Yeah, so it won't be quite a complicated structure, but just for the input there will be the input stream needed. And yeah, so next we'll finish the input output topic. After that we will have maybe that will be the next one, or yeah, we'll have two topics. One is version control. It is quite important if you work in teams, and of course you should have as you may notice, you should have the common repository for your project, for all the codes written. And of course the version control is needed to actually manage to split this work and to merge this work. We are doing, that's why we'll talk about it. And yeah, and another topic, the last topic we actually have is the actual topic about the project management. Yeah, actually, so this will also be discussed. And yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. So we have just, so this topic, I mean input output, will be finished, and then we'll have two more topics. And of course, meanwhile, the project work should be done by yourselves. Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, we'll have sessions, we'll discuss it, everything, but yeah, so that's it. Yeah, it's okay. Any questions? You see all this typing. But for CSV, I mean, we already had, yeah, and that's, yeah, maybe that's a good question. For CSV, we already had the topic for, okay, maybe let me show you, you will definitely remember this file. We already done one activity about it. Yeah, just one moment, let me show you this file. Yeah, that's thanks. That was a really good question about. Let me show you. That was about string tokenizer. And you remember we had the files with students, yeah. And CSV is the same, yeah. So again, maybe let me create one example of CSV file. Like if we have, just imagine that's the example of the database, yeah. If you have external ID, yeah. External ID, and if you have name, just name, surname, something, nothing complicated. Yeah, then let's have some entries here. I won't be not original, I'll just simply use name 1, name 2, name 3, surname, surname 1, surname 2, surname point. So if I say without CSV, okay, then if I open it, lessons. If I open it in using TextPad, Notepad, you'll see that it's practically the same as the text one. Yeah. So in this case, you already work with practically CSV files. Yeah. So the idea is the same as we had with students file. Yeah. So you will need to split it in the corresponding way and then pass the values into the classes, yeah, into the objects using Java classes, yeah. And after that you will need to insert the data into the database, yeah. So yeah, also that's what about CSV files. You actually already you didn't notice it, but you already worked with CSV files. Okay, question from us. Will we be able to watch it after the end of? Yes, yes. At least I haven't had any directions that I should delete something. So yeah, you'll definitely be able to see the videos after the course. Yeah. At least until I have some directions that, like, if someone says to me that I want to delete, remove, then I will notify you, and maybe or maybe try to share with you privately if the sessions are not available for you. But yeah, I think I will definitely try to find the way for you to keep these videos in even after the course. Yeah. That's about CSV files. See, Christine is typing something. What's the? Yeah, okay. So that's for you privately. You can discuss it. Okay. So yeah. Any questions about this one? I will send maybe more precise instructions for us. think at the moment. Okay, if there are no questions, we can move on with the questions about GDBC task. Yeah, just give me 1 minute. I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, okay, let's move on with your questions. Since we skipped the questions answer session on Wednesday, we can do it in a more in a more wide way today. Okay, so yeah, the first question is from Ilza. Hi, I'm struggling to get the SQL statement syntax right. Activity 13 and with the code shared on the bucket. Okay, let's see. First of all, let me open the Eclipse. And yeah, code from Ilsa. Okay, let me check the code from Ilsa. Okay, use this one for testing. And let me check. That's the initial version. Yeah. So that's, and yeah, let's see what was sent by Christina. Oh, sorry, not Christine, but also. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so the connection, so it seems there's no problem. About the SQL statement. Okay, and so you say that you have the issue, and yeah, Ilse, what's the actual where do you have the issue? I mean here, yes, or somewhere. find teacher. Okay. Yes. Okay. The issue is in finding. It works to find by ID. So it works, yeah? At the moment. Or not. Okay, by name. Yes. Okay, so I got it. Okay. Yeah, for name and surname. Actually, if the statement is called this way, you need to understand that. Yeah, of course you need to use escape characters. Yeah. In this case, the escape characters may look. I mean, the statements with the syntax where you use escape characters may look a little bit tricky here. Okay, if I scroll to the next method, sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you, thank you for this. Let's think. Yeah. So first of all, I think that was asked and yeah, suggested to. I think it was mentioned somewhere that it is recommended to use so-called prepare statement. Yeah. Hope we discussed it once, but yeah, just for you, please. Yeah, let's check this one. Yes, for select. I mean, we can use prepare statement for any kind of action. Yeah, and so the idea is simply then we just use the question mark. Like in this case, we may use the question mark. The question mark here. Yeah. So if you just simply like we do it this way, then we think we also need to have the escape character for. Oh no, we don't need escape character for percentage. We don't need escape character. So in this case, that will, I mean, the idea will look something like this. If you create prepare statements, then of course need to select. Yeah, this part is correct, of course. Let's provide database name and where, and then the first name. Yeah, the first name. Then then you can. Oh yeah, and you don't need. You don't need. You don't need the spaces in between as well. Yeah. So it must not have any spaces, and yeah, I think that you put too much escape characters here. So yeah, for ID, yeah, for ID you may need, because that will be passed as string, but for prepare statements you don't really need them in this case. Yeah, actually, if you pass so if remember we had, yeah, just let's, oh yeah, it's already here. So we have prepare statement. If you set yeah, so yeah, that's the way. So if this is the is this written by you, or that was initially here? I don't remember. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's maybe maybe I shouldn't, yeah, maybe yeah. Thanks, thanks for this reminder. Yeah, so this is the way how it should look like, yeah. And another great point for prepare statements, as I said, first of all, you don't allow the code to access just to some to concatenate some kind of string from somewhere to somewhere. You just use prepare statement, then you set up, and then you can set up the corresponding parameter of the selection query you want to assign to. That's And the second point, the great point, is that you don't need to use any escape characters for strings. Yeah, as you remember, if we use this syntax, you before each, like, and that maybe. So yeah, you have statement. Sorry, my fault. So yeah, you have statement. Summary goes here. Then if you some name, then you need to pass equals. Then you need to have escape character. Then you need to have simple character. Then you need to have plus. Then you need to have Java variable. Then again you need to add the escape character and continue the statement after that. So in this case, that may be in some cases a little bit not complicated, yeah, maybe complicated to follow all these escape characters. So just if you use prepare statements, you just simply need to use SetString. So you already provide the information that you are setting the string value. So in this case, it won't request you to have any escape characters. About yeah, in addition, about the SQL statement syntax, as I said, you can go to just to a database, then here, it was not here. Where was it? I already, or maybe search, no, query. That was somewhere, I think there was a helper somewhere here. And I shown you last time, but I forget where was it. Okay, maybe if you go insert. Okay, maybe somewhere here. But maybe in one. Yes, preview SQL. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like if you, for example, want to insert something, you can search for. You can type some values, for example, here, and type on preview SQL. Then you actually you'll see the the whole syntax for SQL query. Yeah. In PHP-MyAdmin, you can simply try to insert something. You can even provide some values here, like for the integer, maybe just some value, and then something like that, and then preview SQL. Yeah, you can see how it will look from SQL syntax. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's okay. Yeah, so if you navigate to SQL, all the statements will actually be here. And for you can what you can do, you can also create your own test database table, and based on this you can simply train yourself. I mean, not train, but yeah, check some, do some training for you, like try to write some queries, like create, add, insert something, update, delete. You can do some training here for your database table. And again here, again, almost all the basic queries are provided. You can check the syntax for SQL if needed. But for this one, yeah, I recommend to use prepare statement, because that's the issue in my insert teacher. Okay. Insert teacher. Insert, yeah, so first activity. Okay, ID first name, yeah, last name, then the values. Okay. Okay. So if you do it this way, that's also fine. I think okay. Let's see how the database looks like, because I assume that the issue may be on the ID, because you use integer. Let me check. So we have the database activity, then there's teacher, yeah. Database, there's teacher table, and structure. Okay, the ID is integer, so that's also should be fine. Then you execute. Yes, actually, maybe about the commit. Can you try? Yeah. Okay, your test didn't like syntax was Mm-hmm. Syntax with question marks. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me test it. Maybe we'll skip this one at the moment. Just skip it at the moment, and let's run new test. So that was insert teacher, right? Okay, Java syntax error. You have an error in SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to use near. Okay, near. Is that somewhere nearby? Yeah, about the auto comment. Yeah, that was what I expected to explain. Now, yeah, that's correct. We don't need auto commit. We need to actually commit the changes after that. So please note that auto commit we set at the beginning of the connection. Yeah. If we set auto commit false, then it means that it will not commit the changes automatically. And if you set up auto commit true, you should set up it before the change is done, because it means that you set up auto commit true. It means that after the statement is executed, that will be placed into the database. If you do the auto commit after that, it actually means that at the moment the statement is executed, the commit won't happen. So in this case we need to have commit. About the values, that's a good question about the values. Just a moment, let me copy the statement. The statement I written, yeah, so it's not case sensitive here. Okay, let me here. Okay, so it means that it is not here. There's no true value for boolean. Yes. One more thing. No, not here. So let's maybe try to use string. Yeah, for boolean there. Yes, but I'm not sure if. And the problem is that there's SQL syntax exception. Yeah, maybe let me check one more thing at least. What was done by me? I parsed integer to string. Okay, let's see if this helps. is still the problem. First name, last name. Okay, what I used execute update. And oh, okay. Just a moment. Why? Yeah, we don't need to. Okay, maybe I got the. So if it works now. Okay. Okay, it seems that there's some different error, but the idea here was that yeah, actually that's German insertion, but yeah, that seems a little bit different. So please check this one, but okay, just one qualification for myself. Maybe some moments. Let me check. Yeah, I need to. Moment. Moment. Okay, just one small check. Yeah, so at the moment it seems that from the SQL point of view, everything is fine here. Yeah, so this is just yeah, it seems that this is just a part of the unit test. Yeah, so this one means that the unit test is failing, yeah, because of the variables. Yeah, just one more thing, let me check about the integer, because I used, I think that should also be fine if you use integer. Yeah, it's okay now. I duplicate entry, so it's already here, but just if we add something like that, what will happen? Yeah, okay, we still don't have any. Yeah, so you can use set integer as well here. Yeah, so from the SQL point of view, everything is fine and everything was fine before. Just the problem was that yeah, actually, what have you done? You put the SQL statement, SQL string here, but what does it mean? It means that so here you define the SQL string. Yeah, we have such string with question marks after that. Then it creates the prepared statement. Yeah, so it creates the prepared statement and it sets the values. Yeah, so for this statement it sets the values. But what you've done here, you put the initial SQL string inside. It means that it will execute it will try to execute this string without the replacements in the question mark positions. Yeah. So in this case, you don't need to put this SQL statement twice inside. So you already did it here. Yeah. You already did it here. And after that, basically everything from the syntax point of view should be correct. Yeah. And from that one, what about commit statement? Commit statement cannot be skipped if you set up yeah, so if you set auto commit false, it means that actually again maybe just a small reminder from the previous session. Basically, what is commit? Yeah, you connect to your database, you set up by default in this case the commit is true. What does it mean? It means that you do the changes, not the changes, but you execute the SQL queries in the code. Yeah. You execute the query, like insert something, delete something from the database. Then actually you try to change the content of the database. So if you do it and the commit is true, auto commit is true, it means that all the changes are automatically. So you do something, insert, update, it happens, the database changes, and the changes are committed. Yeah, so all the changes are replicated into the database, and yeah, even like, and you don't need any other steps. If the auto commit is set to false, it means that you connect to your database, you set auto commit to false. After that you do any changes with the content of the database, you insert something again, insert, update, and so on and so on. And in this case, if the commit is not until the commit is not executed, the changes are not actually replicated into the database. So in fact, the database is not changed before the commit is executed. Yeah, like in this case, the commit is here. Yeah, it actually, why do we need it? Because in case we have any issues, we will need to do the rollback. Yeah, but another option is, in this case, we commit the changes. It means that everything will be passed to the database. If we call the rollback, it means that everything will be the same as it was in the beginning. Yeah. So that's about commit. And can we skip it? I mean, I think that was asked in the task. No, yeah, it was asked to the task that we need to set auto commit to false. Then it means that, of course, if you want to update database and if auto commit is set to false, it means that we need to commit the changes once we want to update our database. And in this case, since everything is executed, we need to call the commit. Yeah. Commit one, auto commit, and yeah, for Svetlana, in your case, it means that yeah, obviously, if the auto commit is set to true, you cannot commit the changes again because changes are already committed. so don't need to comment it twice. Yeah, okay. Marital Zana already provided the help to certainly. Yeah, there's one more issue from user regarding this case, but let's discuss it after the break. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so let's continue. Yeah, so that's really great for user. Yeah, so it's user fixed the issue with the SQL statements are really good. Okay, let's move on. What's the next one? Social media is still right. Okay. Who was the next one? Okay, and already shared the team. Okay, let me note it. Let me note. Okay, so team ones, but one, Yelena and Tom. Okay, noted. Okay, yeah, the assertion error means that that's related to some content stuff of unit tests, most likely. Yeah, that's the assertion error. It's most. Oh yeah, and about this case, sorry, I just missed this case. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't notice that we have two insert teacher. Two insert teacher methods. Oh, okay, yeah. For this one, just know that you don't need to provide the ID. Yeah. So I just mixed it up with this one. Yeah. So in this case, you need to provide the ID. That's correct. But for this one, you don't need to provide the ID. So you just need to um, to do it this way. So let's move on. In this case, we won't provide the ID. And about the assertion error, first we need to check if everything is correctly. About the return, yeah, please note that the return statement needs to be written correctly. Yeah. Database test. Search result. Yeah. Here you can see the syntax. about the assertion error, Marita. That's the reason with assertion error. Yeah, you can basically see assertion error. You can go here, and here you can see where there's a problem. And the problem is that then the result is most likely is not true when it needs to be true. Yeah, like yeah, but in that's I just hard coded. But in your case, I mean in the complete case, you need to yeah, first of all, let's remove it. You need to write the proper logic for this return statement. Yeah. Okay, there may be some different errors, but that's related to different stuff, so you can check. For what I can suggest here is to not use execute but execute update. Yeah, you can also execute update for the insertion, and in this case you will be able to int count, for example. Yeah. And in this case you can see if like yeah, if count greater than 0, it means that something is updated. Comment the changes and return true. Yeah. Otherwise, what you can do is you can roll back the changes, for example. And return false. And don't forget to put the brackets. Let's remove this one. And we don't need this one because this is an unreachable code. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. But yeah, that's if you want to check if everything is correctly. Also, you can use try catch here. Maybe you can escape this throws here and use try catch here, and if see use catch block here, it's SQL exception. You can do it this way. Just in case, yeah, I can skip, for example, count. And no, that's just one of the suggestions I can offer you. Yeah, of course, the bracket needs to be here. And what else? Oh yeah. Yeah, rollback maybe is not needed here. No, so the rollback just for some ceremonial way. I can simply put commit here and also add some logic here, and yeah, of course must return type. So here you can return true. Yeah, that's just an example. What can I advise to you? Yeah, you can use execute. So basically, there's no difference in this course. Let's execute and execute update. That's about. And yeah, one more thing about throws. Yeah, you asked me for the last time. Yeah, just I just noticed that that's about the superclass of the exception. So in this case, we can see that it extends exception, but the last time we had some classes, some exception classes which were not requested to be handled using the method declaration. So okay, maybe let me check this example we had. Standard from activity 09 as I remember. Yeah, no such element exception. This one, that was this one. And if we go here, that's runtime exception. It's runtime exception, and for runtime exception, it should not be thrown for runtime exception. Let's quickly check it. We have class. And quick pointer, just test something to throw new exception class. Yeah, as you can see, in this case it does not request us to throw it, to declare it in the throw. Even if we add it, it's runtime. Custom exception. Yeah, it is not complaining if we add it, but it is not added. It is not needed for runtime exceptions. Just for all the run, if we just simply extend it as the exception, that will complain. Yeah. That's the idea. So for runtime exception, we don't need to throw them. Throw it using like the syntax here throws and name the exception class. That's from the last time. Runtime exceptions shouldn't is not needed. So to handle them using the method declaration. Okay, and yeah, there was some questions from Svetlana about the job database connectivity. Okay, 6 failures. Let's run it a lot of times, and now original each database is totally different. Could it be the reason of issues? The example of failure is comparison. Expected mar, but was the date. Yeah, for this comparison failure, I think that the issue is the issue is that maybe something is not inserted correctly. Yeah, like yeah, maybe it means that something is not inserted correctly, because if you have the data instead of the name, it means that most likely it means that the okay, that's just so it's maybe show to everyone. Yeah, that's what Svetlana has. If expected name but was the date timestamp, yeah, it means that most likely there's something name in my table. Alright, I don't mean then, I mean in the code. Yeah, in the code maybe you have added something in database. Can you show how your database look? That's for the. I think that was for the teacher. I mean, this field was. I think that this field was expected. Okay, to be. Okay, but okay. Maybe the ID is wrong. Why do you have such database? I mean, was to be. So I mean, yeah, maybe you had some testings here. Or why do you have so many? Something was wrong during the update, or because you have to be deleted. Maybe what can you try to do is simply you can delete the database. In exam, to be honest, yeah, you can drop the database. Yes, you can destroy the database. Then you can execute on the server level. You can execute again the SQL in the same way. SQL query, then run it, and yeah, after that you will have the queen database with no information schema. I need to refresh. Sorry, the wrong database. Yeah, and after that you'll have the queen database. Yeah, just in case you had too many testings, then. And what I see from Sweat on a screenshot that something is wrong. We updated. Like for the first ID, I don't think there should be something like the first name to be and the last name deleted. Yeah. So yeah, try to reinitialize your database and maybe try again after that. How to delete it? Yeah, simply go to operations, yeah. Select your database, go to operations, then select drop the database. You can drop the database. Yes, you don't need any data to keep. Then we can go to this again to the server. Then paste the SQL query, and we'll have the database with the initial values back again. Cannot delete it. Why? Why you cannot delete it? Okay. Foreign key. Okay. Okay, seems that there is so much settings done. Maybe you can try to rename the database. Yeah, they just like something not use. Yeah, not use me, for example. Just Okay, maybe try to rename it. Maybe are you able to rename it? Yeah, or not? Yes. Okay, so if you are able to rename it, so you can just simply keep it as is. And in theory, you can delete it from the files in exam, but I'm not sure that you just don't need to overcomplicate it. Rename it and create a new one. Should be fine. Make it obsolete. Don't use it after that. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, that's about the comparison. Can we put calls directly to RABlock? clause you mean about the connection? Yes. You mean the connection? And can we put clause directly to try? Is it about connection, right? Okay. Um, in the so that's okay, let me check where the moment. Yes, yeah, we can put it inside try. And that's basically what we need. We need to put it inside try. That's in the end. Yeah, clause you need to. Yes, you can put it inside try. And then try to close it and try. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. You can put it in try. Yeah, second, should we call statement and result? Should we close which statement and result set objects to? Not close result set object. What do you mean about results set object? Somewhere. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just. Yeah. Okay, that's about. Yeah, the results. Yeah, you just tap it with the. That's maybe how I usually say it. If we start if we start the name with the uppercase, it usually means that it's something like the class, yeah. But yeah, Svetlana, wrote you wrote with the starting with lowercase, and if we have something like this, like result set starting with lowercase, I consider it as the variable, yeah. That's why I was a little bit confused. And yeah, yes, I thought that that's the variable name. Yeah. So if we start with the lowercase, it means that that's most likely the variable. And oh yeah, and the result set, that's the class and the type. Yes, for the statement it can be closed, but it actually not needed. Yeah, but the result set. So basically, it means that if we get some results, just to and maybe we can have some different threads, different flows used for this particular result set, and just to not mix it with the with some different executions, some different results, you can close it. In our case, we don't have such complicated case here, so we just can simply skip the close statement for result objects. Yeah, just the main idea is to not mix it, with some different axes, yeah. But in our case, we just have one. Not sure if it is here. But yeah, that's the yeah here. But here we don't have such complicated logic that we need to access this result set from somewhere else. Yeah, we can close it, but just it can be done automatically after that by the logic. And as you can see from description, yeah, if it's not done, it goes automatically. In our case, we don't need this, yeah, to do it manually. Yeah, for our case, we can skip this, but it can be used as well. It won't break our logic here. Bit misunderstood driver manager. Actions or only for me. Yeah, that's the good question. Actually, you can, if you have different connections, you can. I think it should be fine if you create different connections in your logic. Okay, it can create. Many connections. Yeah, why not? So that's like if you open the browser, yeah, you can connect one website, and in the other tab you can connect, yeah, something like this. But please note that it should not be this. Not sure if you can use the same connection. At least I never tried it, but do we have the example? Well, that's a good thing to try. At least I never tried to use different, I mean the same connection for for if you use different connections, that's absolutely fine. If you use different hosts, different database, so it should not be the problem. But I think if you use one connection, the same connection, that may trigger the issue. That should trigger the issue normally. Okay, that's like if we connection one, let's declare connection one, just to make it even more crazy. Let's set up our commit to true. Yeah, okay, it basically changes the, okay, just a moment, string update name, and just let's add something. And yeah, we can use Okay, yeah, you can put the question. Okay, at least just Maria. Okay, maybe we don't need this one. This one as well. Okay, and SetString connection one. Connection one. Technically don't use it. Okay, that's me. Okay. Okay, it seems that it didn't. Yeah, it didn't update the table. Yeah, but in any way, that's not really good idea to have multiple connections with the same host, because that may actually you have that may interfere some normal flow of the logics. So if you just use one connection, that's pretty enough. You don't have any conflicts with the stuff done in different connections. Yeah. So in this case, you just recommend to use only one connection. But yeah, you can create different connections, obviously with different. If you create with different hosts, that's with different databases, that's absolutely fine. Like not in this case if you have everything localhost, but if you have different hosts, you can do it. Yeah, that's at least I don't see any reasons why it may trigger some issues in some cases. Yeah, that's it's like if you browse in the browser. Yeah, you can open several tabs in your browser and you can do some changes there. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty it about the questions. Okay, are there any more questions about this task? Okay, thanks Marta for reminder. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Marta. Sorry, just your question was before the node check answers. That's why it was placed at the not at the quite bottom, but in the below section sorted by date. Yeah, so that's why I missed it. It was not on the top of from the not the newest one. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Question: what click do I get right? That we open connection once in the beginning and then close it at the end. Yes, no need to open and close it in every method. Yeah, that's basically the idea. In theory, we can do it, but that won't be fine from the performance point of view. Yeah, like if you reconnect it every time, that may hit the performance. That won't be really nice if it is done in every method. So yeah, that's if you do it at the beginning. You open the connection and you close it at the end. Yes, that's absolutely fine. Okay, think it might be as good task green. Then we set outcome is false once the after establishing connection. Okay, do we use commit in every method? Yes, in this case we use it in every method when the SQL is executed successfully. Yes, we need to have it here. So in this case, the changes are not related with each other. Yeah. So in this case, we can commit the changes. I'm not quite sure about exactly this example. I haven't tested all the cases. Here you can basically you can try every option. I mean, you can put it inside the methods, and then you can just simply try to put it at the beginning, at the end. Yeah, I mean, you can maybe here you can use this method, which actually causes the connection, and check what happens then. I mean, try it yourself then. Try different options and see the results. Okay, I said about what I said on Monday. Okay, okay. Here. Okay. So there's some experience from Marita. Yeah. Yeah. Again, in my experience, that's absolutely fine if you ask dumb questions, because that's the only. I mean, basically, from my point of view, how I remember the stuff, and how I learn the stuff is that I learn it as the puzzle. Yeah, imagine you have the puzzle, then you just have the flow of the information, and the flow of the information for me is just like the pieces of puzzle. And of course, I mean, at least I'm not sure if there are such persons that can directly um, remember all the information which comes from the flow of the information. And for me, it's like there can be like five same flows, yeah, with the information. You have one text, yeah, just one uh, paper of text, yeah. You need to memorize or understand it. And for me, it works like I need to read it 5 times just to simply to memorize, to remember all the information, to understand the information. Yeah, it may take some time, but the idea is that I need to read it several times to get the idea. The same is about the information. It's fine if you ask the same question twice, like, or even 5 times. That's also fine. Again, that's the flow of the information, and it's not practically possible to memorize 100% of what you what you what you hear, what you read, what you see. It's just like a puzzle you may need to collect. At least that's how it works for me. Like in my experience, I could I could understand maybe some complicated things, but miss some small easy things, and I as I understand that for me it's absolutely fine if I ask some silly questions to my colleague. It's better to ask this question and not waste the time than simply spend some days to figure it out. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. What does commit do? That's a really nice question, and let's discuss it after the break. Yeah, yeah. Again, yeah, we'll discuss. Yeah, we'll discuss again. Discuss the commit after the break. Yeah. Let's meet after the break. Okay, so let's move to the final part of our today's session. Yeah, again, let's start with again the question from student: what does the commit do? Okay, maybe let's try to. So maybe let's just imagine you have the database. So this is the database. This is the database with data. You are here, right here. That's doesn't really matter if it's Java code or something, the code from somewhere else. It doesn't really matter. The concept of commit is the same everywhere. So you are here and you want to, for example, update the database. If the commit is false, not commit is false, it means that just how does it work? Maybe you can get some data, you can update this data, or you can simply put new data. Yeah. So if you do the insert of or update, you'll actually have some changes inside the database. I think, yeah, I hope you understand what the changes mean. Yeah, like if you have different entries, you can add new entries, you can change the existing one, and so on and so on. So yeah, you do some changes here. So you have the it's called the package of changes. Yeah, you have the package of changes, for example. Yeah? Just every change. Yeah, and so here you do the changes, do, and you finalize the changes. Yeah. Once you finalize the changes with the database, you have two options: commit or rollback. Commit or rollback. Rollback. Commit means that the changes will be placed to the database. Rollback means that the changes won't be placed to the database and you just simply finish your code. That's the idea about the commit. And in this stage, when you do the changes and you fetch some data from the database, you can actually see the data uh, which are already changed, yeah, by these changes. But if the rollback is executed, all the changes are just they will disappear, yeah. That's the idea. Execute query. Yeah, but in this case, you just like imagine you have the replication of the database. Yeah, it affects it affects the data, but it does not affect the final changes of the database. Yeah, like basically there maybe before the changes are done, there can be the copy of the database or something like that. You can have the copy of the data. Then yeah, it depends on the way the commit works. Yeah, you can have the copy of the database, then you can roll back to this copy, or you can simply, and how it works in most cases, you have the so you get some copies of the tables here. You get some copies of the tables changed, then you change these tables, and the tables, the entries, doesn't really matter. So using query, you execute query, you have these changed entries. Yeah, once the query is executed, you actually change something with the not local but kind of local table. Yeah. Then once these changes are done, basically these changes are, if the commit is executed, these changes are placed into the actual database. So that's the I mean, this is kind of not saved changes yet. Like imagine if you editing something in the you have a website, you just fill some data, then at the end you usually have two options: save or cancel. And it's quite similar. Then if there's a commit, it means that you save the changes. If there's cancel, you roll back the changes. There are some differences between save and commit, and usually commit happens after the like why I'm saying it's kind of save and cancel, because you may actually have different like different flows. Yeah, you have one flow, second flow. So you have save, cancel, save, cancel, save, cancel, save, cancel again, and you may save one document, then you may save another document, and once everything is saved, you can actually commit it in the database. If something goes wrong somewhere here, all the changes are cancelled and rollback is executed. So it's like, again, if you imagine you have the questionnaire or something like that in the website, then you, again, at the end you have save or you have cancel. If the changes are cancelled, then it's kind of rollback. Yeah, that's the same idea for the commit and throwback. Yeah. There are some differences between the save and commit, but in the way of understanding, this is almost the same. Yeah. Okay, that's about the commit. There's also the question from Vienna. Uh, yeah. As I said, using the unit tests I provided here, you can just simply use not not mm, not username student and password student, but just simply root and the password to be just initial, yeah, like in this case. And that's for Vienna. Yeah. In the original unit tests, which was created on GTM, in the original project compiled, unit tests are with different username and the password student 0007. But so just to not overcomplicate with the database setup, it's fine if we use again the simple root and the password, just initial password. That's for Vienna. Okay. Maybe the feedback. Yeah, have you already tried it or not? Have these, but it's still returned. The error. Yeah. Have you? Yeah. Just one more thing. Have you pasted the unit test files here as well? Database test and database one test. Database one should be here. Yeah. So just database test. Yeah, I shared the database test file with you. I can share it again. It's basically a little bit changed unit tests which are a little bit changed. Not are, but yeah, this one, single one, yeah. It is a little bit changed. Okay, maybe let me share it with you. I can share it again with you. It's activity 14 and this one. Yeah. Just simply put it into this file or into this package. And that should be fine for you. Okay. Okay, more questions? Okay, if there are no questions, then I think we can do some theory part tomorrow. But for today, okay, more questions coming. Yay. Okay, so roll back for for this. Okay, yeah, more questions. Okay, for Nielsa, change this method, but still does not like the syntax. Okay, let's see. Find teacher. That's the one for string and string. The syntax. Okay. Okay. Okay, and you. Find teacher. Is it really the same? But yeah, there's no complaining about the syntax. Yeah, it is not complaining about the syntax as an application. Okay. Okay. But how exactly did you run it as an application? I mean, What kind of parameters did you use? Okay, running from main, but okay, you have the main. Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, I see that yeah, yours different one. Okay, yeah, just maybe let me copy the one you use. No, let's see the test again. Sorry, thought. Okay. It shows that table database activity teacher does not that's sorry, that's my fault. Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry, I just I removed the database. Sorry, my fault. Let me open it again. No, not open, but set it up again. Okay, so now I have the database. Okay, I'm gonna check the Let me do some checks here. I usually use and here, so let's try. Oh yeah, so yeah, that that was the problem. You need to use and, not comma, cause yeah, I mean that's the idea. Cause if you use where statement, it means that it is usually like in Java you have one equals to, like, not one but one variable equals to another variable, and it returns true or false, and then you can have statement just one condition or something, and the same is here. You can use or you can use or. Yeah, that's just, if you use comma, it does not really understand what do you mean. Yeah, so in the SQL you can also construct the where statements, like first name is like something and last name is something, or just blah 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 and so on. So you can construct the logical statements in SQL. That's why you need to use or and such stuff. Yeah. Okay, open question. There's a question from Sana. How can I check manual? Yeah, that's maybe a little bit complicated. You need to check the whole syntax. Yeah, it's not really possible to check the exact place in MySQL. No. Actually, yeah, Marit, that's a good question. Why don't we just, let's try to create a new database table. Like, not database, but database table. Sorry. Like if you create a new table, test table. So you create test table. You can save. You just tell me. Yeah, we can see that it is case sensitive. Yeah, it is not case sensitive. Yeah, as you can see, if you create a new table, it is not. What I just actually, again, maybe let me show you what I type test table like in this case. So I have uppercase here. Then I create again some ID, for example. It doesn't really matter. Then oh yeah, it already exists. Yeah, like if you add something like that, doesn't really matter for us. You can see that it saves it as everything is lowercase. So it is not case sensitive. And the same about SQL statements. As you can see here, we can use uppercase in the same way we can use lowercase. It's also fine for SQL statements here. Yeah. Okay, Anda has the question. Assertion error. Yes, again, maybe let's try to replicate it. Assertion error means that so you can basically navigate to this and check where is the place, and if it shows assert equals, it should be true. Yeah, not true, but yeah, the condition set needs to be true. So if the assertion is false, then it means that something is wrong. Like in the previously we had this one, assert true, as I remember. Okay, never mind. In this case, assert true. Yeah, like in this case. Something, assume that in your case, and the exception happened because of something like this. You can basically press on your below the Java lang assertion error, and that will navigate you to the place where this error is. And in your case, something like this. I mean, not something like this, but I assume that it starts with assert true. Yeah. So if it says assert true, it means that it should be. So the statement inside needs to be true. Yeah. And I assume that in your case, the actual statement is not true inside. That's why it results in the error.
Okay, thank you. And what about cannot run program bin bash? There's not, I'm not done something or
Uh,
is missing.
yeah, I assume that again, have you moved the files to the folder? I mean to the
Yes.
yes. Okay. Yeah, about bin bash, it shouldn't. It means that maybe something with the setup is not correct, but yeah, I think maybe it means that something with the setup is not correct in your case.
For what setup?
The setup with the connection, setup of the connection. It's the beginning, not here, sorry, at the beginning, or maybe with the database. I mean, somewhere here.
I have the same, but okay, I will try it on Saturday.
Yeah, just
And then
in
do.
case you have this error, please share the code with me so I can check it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, then if not, then we can finish it for today. And then, yeah, maybe again, if you have more questions tomorrow, we can discuss it more. But this one, I agree that there may be some tricky issues, especially with if we work with SQL or with connection. In some cases, it may be very tricky, and if something is missed or connection or setup, it's really important that everything is set up correctly, and only in this case it can work. Okay, but okay, so I don't have a question. Sure, you can ask. Okay, okay, there's one more team. Zana, Marit, and Helena. Okay, let me note it. Team 2. Marita and Helena. Okay, okay, noted. The asserts it's actually the same as the state. Okay, maybe let's the same as the assert statement. Additional test asserts. Just a moment to think. Just a moment. There was. Okay, 2 moments. Okay, this one J unit. Okay. Sorry. So G. Okay, maybe I won't be able to access it directly from here. Yeah, because that's specifically for JUnit tests. But in general, how it works that yeah, because that's from JUnit package, maybe auto, but we could replicate it here. But again, the idea is that the condition. So you have the actually this is the class, this is the static method, and it expects the yeah, in some cases it may have message parameters, like just in case unit test to trigger the error, it may show the assertion error. So for the the assert class has different assert methods. Like in this case, it asks us to check if these two values are the same. Yeah. So we have the method. We have three parameters. The first one is message. We skip it. It's not really interesting for us. But there are the parameters expected and actual. Yeah. So and also assert equals means that if these two variables are not the same, and they are not equal with each other, that will trigger the assertion error. But that is used for unit tests. Again, that's not really really used in the for the programs. Like the ID yeah, but it's casted too long. Yeah, you can see the IDs are casted too long, and that's how we check the cast is used here. That's yeah, but again, asserts are mostly used for the testing purposes. Like if you create your own program, it's most likely that you won't use the assert statements. It's just for the testing purpose. Cast too long, right? Yes, actually don't really need to cast it. Yeah, we don't need to cast it again. That's fine, but that's not the logic created by me. So yeah, but we don't need to cast it. Yeah, since that should be done automatically because long is greater than the idea. That's why I don't need to cast. In this case, 128, 29 ID teacher get ID should be the same. Yeah. Yes. This ID needs to be the same. That's the idea of assert statements. You have assert. It means that you compare two variables. Like in this case, assert equals means that these two variables need to be the same. Otherwise, it will trigger the assertion error. If the method is called assert true, it means that the statement inside needs to be true. And we have condition. For this conditional statement, for example, it means that it needs to be resulted in true. Again, Svetlana, as I said, it is not very. It is much likely than you won't need to implement this. It's only used for the testing purpose. Like if you have in this course we didn't, and we won't discuss the topic about unit tests. But if you write the unit tests, that again, like in this case, this may be really useful if you have unit tests. Yeah, if you need to create unit tests, then such assertions are very useful to check where is the error. Yeah. Where are the issues? Okay, yeah, one more team. Sandra, Lena, and Christine. Okay. And Christine. Okay, noted. Okay. Yeah, again, assertions are used for, like in this case, or if you use like in this way, or if you simply use a search statement, that's Java predefined statement, that's mostly used for the testing purpose. Again, as I said, and when we were discussing assertion statements, to be able to use the assertion statement, we need to pass the corresponding parameter to the console. Yeah, like if you run it, you need to run a configuration, then you need to enable assertions here. Yeah. So by default, the assertions won't be triggered. So in this case, means that they are just statements which do nothing if the assertions are not enabled. Right? And I mean everyone, everyone usually enables assertions only when we need to test something. Just for the basic flow of the program, assertions are not used because it's actually we don't want to make our program crash. Yeah. Like, try catch, that's a different one because try catch usually used for to change the flow of the program a little bit. Yeah. Like if we have try catch, again we have try to do something, we go to catch. If something is wrong or something is missed, yeah, then we go to catch. If there's assertion, it basically means that the program will dump. Yeah, in most cases. So yeah, we only use it for testing and most and practically nothing for more. Yeah. Okay, that's about the assertions. Okay, then for today we can finish the session and see you tomorrow. Bye.